My name is Leci McKenney, also known as Leci, and I graduated from the Fort Valley State University in 2010. I was born in Augusta, Georgia, but I kind of bounced around a little bit with my family, with my dad, being in the military for a little while. So I've lived all over North Carolina, Boston, Virginia, but I claim Atlanta to the fullest because that's where I spent most of my adulthood and, since high school. As a high school student, I was always involved in everything. I was class president, homecoming queen, I was in the marching band, I was the basketball team stats keeper. I just have always been an outgoing person. Well, I always knew I wanted to go to an HBCU, so I definitely was looking at mainly at HBCUs. I was looking at Fort Valley. I was looking at Clark, Spelman, but I knew I wanted to stay close to home, but I also wanted to get the away from home experience as well. So I went and toured Fort Valley. I just felt like it was a good fit for me. Like I said, just being about an hour and a half from Atlanta, I knew I would have the flexibility to be able to come back and forth and just still have that HBCU experience a little bit further away from home. Entering as a freshman, I was super excited to start my new journey, my new life, being away from home for the first time. Yeah, I think making the transition was pretty easy for me just because I'm so social. But there was a lot of things I had to take into consideration being on my own. And, they say the friends and the people that you meet in college are the friends that you have for a lifetime. And I do truly believe that. So meeting the different circles and trying to figure out, who's going to be my new friend group and how are my classes going to be? Am I going to like my major? Am I going to get along with my teachers? I think that it was a matter of just taking it day by day because it's new for all of us that were there as freshmen for the most part. So, everyone was super friendly too. Like as soon as you get on campus, you have your RAs and you have the older people who've been there who can kind of take you around the campus and get you familiar, let you know what clubs are around. Like everyone is super welcoming and it felt like home. It felt like a family. And that's one thing that I can say. Like I literally have some of the same people in my life and it's a huge group of them. Like that's your network. So it was very easy to get acclimated because everyone made me feel like I was at home. I was able to make sure that I was going to class, make sure that I was doing all my work and my assignments and hanging around the right people, but mixing the fun in as well. I remember we created a fashion show one day we called it Anything But Clothes. So I had students getting together and we're putting together outfits out of trash bags and newspaper and things that we could find. Like I always just tried to find ways to find fun on campus. So I was a mass comm major, so we all had to learn together and use the resources that we had. So we were all like a family coming together, putting together the radio shows, the little news kits and things like that. We had Miss Spikes who would come back and forth. She's very known in the entertainment world, so she was a great influence. She worked really well with us. During my senior year, my mom was actually diagnosed with cancer, so I missed a lot of class and was going back and forth through Atlanta while she was dealing with her cancer treatments. And for me, graduating was important because I was the first from my mom's side of the family to graduate. And again, my mother was terminally ill at the time, so that graduation and me walking across the stage meant more than anything. It meant the world. So I can remember sitting there and I was just looking because I didn't know if she was going to be able to make it because she had a doctor's appointment earlier that day and it's almost a 2-hour drive. And I just had a lot of family in town and I was looking around and I'm seeing all of them and I'm like, oh, it feels so great. But to be able to see my mom there and to know that Fort Valley gave me that opportunity, it's an amazing feeling. And at the end of the day, no one can take your degree from you. So I have that piece of paper and it shows that you can commit to something. So, and people don't understand that a lot of times when you go into these jobs and these roles, they want to see that you graduated because they want to know that you can commit to something. They want to know that you're reliable. So it's very important to have that piece of paper because it can get you in the door and it just shows your past and that you can stick to it. I didn't immediately jump into using my major, which was mass communications. And I think at the time I just graduated and I was like, let me find a job. I was looking for an internship, but in the meantime, I needed a job. And I got into the hospitality world. So I started working for sales with Marriott. I worked for Marriott for 5 years and worked my way up to an area sales executive. But with these positions and in sales, I was responsible for all of the huge conferences that are coming into Atlanta and booking them at the different hotels for Marriott. So we did all kinds of events like Mayor's Ball, or if the big company like Home Depot or Delta is throwing their conferences, I'm the one that's contracting them and putting them together. So with this, I got to use a little bit of my major because now I'm working with all the big events that are coming into the city and seeing how they work behind the scenes. I also use my work experience as for educational purposes. Like I took what I learned from the job and I took what I learned from Fort Valley and I put it all together. And one day I decided to come up with a platform called IMX the Brand. And IMX the Brand is a platform that focuses on cultivating relationships in order to push brands forward. Right now, we do an event called Market. We bring out an average of 30 different Black-owned brands and businesses. They come out and they're able to sell their stuff, showcase their products. We do radio advertisement, marketing, email blasts. We've just built a home and a hub for entrepreneurs to come. Started doing a lot of networking events and work with a lot of major companies and as well as a lot of independent small businesses. And once we just started gaining that, building our reputation and doing successful events and building the content up, it just became, it just blew up. Like I get calls now every day from major celebrities to large companies, or I'm on the phone with the vice president of the Hawks one day, or like, oh my goodness, I'm getting a call from Interscope. Like, the brand is not limited to anything. Everyone has a brand at the end of the day, and that's what I want to focus on. You have to be able to sell yourself. We're all a brand. So I don't want to limit myself to anything that I can do because I can accomplish it all. So we've done major events on big platforms and we've done smaller events, but I want people to be able to know that they can call us for anything and we're going to be able to connect you to the right people with this platform. It's more important now than ever to give back because now we are the people that are setting the example. If people didn't reach out to me and connect with me after I graduated, or if I didn't have those resources, I may not have been able to have some of the opportunities that I have. So it's so important that after you graduate that you always reach back out to the school and give back. And right now we're doing a brick campaign to commemorate 125 years for Fort Valley State University. It's $125 to purchase a brick, but if you don't have $125, there's so many other ways that you can reach out and give back. First of all, we all have social media now, so use those platforms to spread the word to other people that may be able to purchase some bricks. It's all about reaching back. If you can't donate monetarily, like, let's sign up, let's be a part of these Fort Valley alumni chapters. Let's come up with some events or mentorships or programs that we can reach out to the students that are there now, because we have to set the example, because those people are graduating and they need to see the success from the people who have already graduated and have those people to look up to and reach down to them or reach out to. So it's definitely important for us to give back to the school in any way that you can, because we're a product of that environment. So we need to set an example so that people and students will continue to come back. Support the school. Retweet, repost, share, like, subscribe, anything that we can do. It's our job and our duty to give back. Empower the possible, brick by brick.